Today, we salute 150 years of crime-fighting, firefighting, courage, and humor that have helped create the slow life. San Luis Obispo Police and Fire Services officially started in the late 1800s. City Hall was located on Higuera at the site of today's Charles Shoes. The fire department started with hand-drawn equipment and by 1887 had grown to 3 companies. The city was moving ahead in sophistication, but also working to tame the spirit of the Wild West. Street fights were common and often violent. In the late 1880s, Marshal Frank Grady took down a famous desperado named Big John. An altercation started at the corner of Morrow and Monterey Streets in front of the Cosmopolitan Hotel. It ended with 2 bullets in Big John's heart. In 1911, the Tribune reported on Police Chief Cook's comical arrest of a drunken horseback rider assisted by the fire department.
The fun started while Cook was unlocking the rear door to the city jail. His prisoner twisted from his grasp and made a run for it, closely pursued by Cook. He was headed off in the front of the building by Fireman Kirk Hardy, driver of the Seagrave fire chemical wagon. The 2 officers and their prisoner rolled all over the sidewalk in a big heap, much to the entertainment of a rapidly gathering crowd. In the fracas, Mr. Cook encountered Mr. Hardy's elbow with his nose, badly damaging that organ.
While the police were chasing horses, the fire department was using them as service animals. Horse-drawn equipment arrived in 1890. The department relied on 2 teams of horses, Frank and Rowdy, the Grays, and Queen and Bess, the Blacks. They lived in stables below City Hall. The Grays served for 26 years and the Blacks for 15. In the early 1900s, the fire department staged plays to raise funds and the horses played a part. One author described it in 1903.
They're the pride and delight of the citizens and firemen, and have often been used on the local theater stage with the fire engine. They're almost as intelligent as humans and are as gentle as little kittens.
The horse teams pulled an 1890 potbelly steamer and a 1905 chemical hose wagon that arrived in San Luis just after the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. The wagon and the horse teams were a tremendous combination, even fighting a grass fire atop Cuesta Grade. The era of motorized equipment arrived in 1916, and in 1922 the council approved the $12,400 purchase of a second engine, a top-of-the-line Seagrave motorized truck. The horses enjoyed a well-earned retirement. Even the most modern equipment was useless in the face of a 1926 inferno that raged for 5 days. Lightning struck 3 Union Oil Company tanks, igniting the Slow Tank Farm fire. 5 million barrels of oil burned in the biggest fire in city history. The city was spared only because of wind direction. The city's police history is beautifully illustrated in handwritten police court dockets maintained from the earliest days of the department. The style and grace of the entries create a peek into our past.
Battery with a violin as the weapon. Gambling. Operating an opium den. Passing a slingshot to a jail prisoner. Mooching. Refusing to go to work. And, well, just like today, public drunkenness.
One vagrant was given 1 hour to leave town. A female enjoyed a suspended action with a proviso she'd get her things together and go to Bakersfield. The 20s and 30s brought cars, rum runners, a red light district, and a growing marijuana problem. One article reported,
"The problem of stamping out the smoking of reefers, as the dope cigarettes are called, is an extremely difficult one."
In 1938, the bell tower atop City Hall caught fire late on a Saturday night. James Vega recounted the event in an entertaining letter to a friend.
Nearly 1,000 persons gathered after midnight. The fire threatened Sears Roebuck and Valley Electric. The bell dropped 4 feet and cracked. Councilman Joe Berkmeyer arrived in striped pajama tops. Mayor Sinsheimer assured onlookers that the building was covered by insurance. On Monday evening, the council will meet and the tax rate will be set. What a time for a fire.
A serious 9-month vandalism spree kept police busy in the 50s. 3 teenagers were apprehended, and one commented,
"The fun was worth it."
There are no reports of how he felt following sentencing. New police and fire facilities are built to better serve the growing community. In 1960, the addition of 2 female traffic officers was a big story, and the Tribune covered it.
A definitely pretty touch was added to the downtown scene today. Smiles will be more prominent than the usual frowns for motorists, with the addition of two attractive young policewomen.
More progress. 1969. The city's first tactical squad was formed to address Vietnam and Diablo Canyon protests. 1972. The SWAT team was created. First called out, report of a sighting of Patty Hearst in San Luis. 1975. Footbeats returned to the downtown in response to complaints of
Teenagers blocking sidewalks, intimidating shoppers, and drag racing.
Sound familiar? The police add a traffic unit and a Harley, test mopeds and bike patrols for downtown, started a ride-along chaplain program. The 1990s brought DARE and SNAP programs and high-tech crime investigation. 1970s, fire destroys the Obispo Theater located at the site of today's Court Street Center. Time moves on and firefighters tackle the Etc. Fire, Las Politas, Highway 41, and other fires. They now provide advanced paramedic services, hazardous material handling, and deploy to fires throughout the western states. San Luis Obispo Police and Fire are both modern organizations, but they've never forgotten their roots. The Mary Winter Award remembers one of the great spirits of the San Luis Obispo Police Department. The Greg Otto Award is given in memory of the inspiring leadership of Fire Captain Greg Otto. Fire Association members showcase the city's past by restoring firefighting equipment. The 1905 chemical wagon was restored for the city's 100th anniversary, and today volunteers are working to restore the 1923 Seagrave engine in honor of the city's 150th anniversary. Special badges are being worn by police and fire to acknowledge San Luis Obispo history.
The story of our police and fire departments is one of pride and excellence, of passion, friendship, and an unshakable belief in each other and commitment to citizens. We love the slow life, and we thank you, police and fire, for your part in protecting